Cool, confident, and decisive. These descriptions hardly suffice to capture the legendary moment of John Carpenter, the first person in the world to win the $1 million prize on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. As question 15 loomed, everyone held their breath, expecting him to use his last lifeline for help. But no, John calmly called his father, only to softly inform him, "Dad, I don't need help. I just wanted to let you know I'm about to become a millionaire." A masterstroke of composure, leaving the audience in awe and admiration. John, with a mind packed with knowledge, breezed through all 15 questions, never once using assistance until the final one. With that historic answer, John Carpenter not only became an overnight millionaire, but also a living legend of the American version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. However, with such a massive sum, did his life really change, as many would imagine? And what is the life of this man like more than 20 years later? Let's explore this in today's video. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a legendary game show that's been keeping audiences hooked for decades. In the US, known as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It was broadcast by ABC starting in 1999, quickly becoming a sensation and remaining one of the most beloved TV shows. The challenge of answering 15 questions to win the top prize is no laughing matter. In the US, in its debut year, someone conquered all and took home the $1 million prize. After taxes, the winner still pocketed about $600,000, a colossal sum back then, enough for a comfortable living for a long while. The man who pulled off this once-in-a-lifetime feat was John Carpenter, born in 1967, a 31-year-old tax officer from Massachusetts at the time. On November 19, 1999, John became the first person globally to win $1 million on the US version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Sitting in front of the famed host, Regis Philbin, John was so relaxed that viewers felt like he was lounging in his living room rather than on the hot seat. On his first appearance, John correctly answered 2 questions before time ran out. Returning a week later, he made a spectacular run, answering the next 12 questions correctly without any lifelines. The studio audience and even Regis were left speechless by his confidence. With this achievement, John became a national figure, interviewed by journalists for a long time. But that's not the only reason why this office worker became famous to this day. When it came to the final question, this was the ultimate moment. One question stood between John and $1 million. All eyes were on him. The question was, which U.S. president appeared on the comedy show Laugh-In? The options were Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, and Gerald Ford. Answering correctly would win him $1 million. Otherwise, he'd leave with $32,000. At this juncture, John decided to use his phone a friend lifeline, choosing to call his father. But the call left the studio in shock. Instead of seeking help, John confidently told his dad, "Dad, I don't need help. I just wanted to let you know I'm about to become a millionaire." John's bold statement sent shockwaves through the studio. Everyone was on the edge of their seats as they waited for the final answer. Amidst the studio's eruption, his answer was correct. This man had conquered 15 questions without any assistance. Despite becoming a millionaire overnight at 31, John Carpenter did not change his lifestyle. Keeping his job at the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, John told the Washington Post in 1999, "It's a lot of money, but in New England, money doesn't last forever." This explains why, even with $1 million, the Carpenters continued their modest lifestyle, dining out once a month at affordable places, mirroring their previous life. John admitted it took a while to get over the thrill and temptation of the win. John Carpenter once stated that his victory did not change his life at all. Not one for discussing money, he kept his life as simple as possible. With his prize money, Carpenter was not lavish. Together with his wife Debbie, they moved from a small house in Spring Glen, Hamden, to the Carmel Mountains, and by 2007, they moved back to Ridge Hill to be closer to Debbie's parents. Despite the moves, Carpenter maintained a self-reliant lifestyle. If the grass grew too high, he'd cut it himself. If something broke in the house, he'd fix it. Never hiring anyone. A millionaire living this frugally. That's something you don't see every day, and people can't help but respect it. In a 2009 interview, John revealed that aside from buying a new BMW to replace his old Honda, he wasn't extravagant. The prize money was saved for his son's future, ensuring the best educational foundation. John's friends and family never saw him as a lavish millionaire. Every time they gathered, they split the bill as usual, with no distinction despite his famous win. Instead of chasing a luxurious lifestyle, John and his wife chose to contribute quietly to the community. They actively participated in charity, supporting local organizations and community funds. This simplicity and generosity make John's image even more special to the audience. Not just the first $1 million winner, but also loved as a silent millionaire, dedicated to his life and community. With his prudent approach to spending, John's daily life remains much like any average person's. He enjoys visiting local breweries with friends where only a few know of his past fame. John acknowledges his family rarely dines at fancy restaurants, opting for modest eateries, sometimes only once a month. Later, John made a few TV appearances, including on Saturday Night Live, with actor Daryl Hammond and in the HBO series Oz. Carpenter is also very active in charity, although he admits to being quite economical. What he finds most gratifying is that many things haven't changed. In an early 2020 phone interview with The Washington Post, Carpenter described his winning experience as a whirlwind. John Carpenter's victory not only made him a millionaire, but also etched his name in the history of American game shows as the first to win the largest prize. Over 2 decades later, while others have also reached the pinnacle of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, John remains a legend in viewers' eyes. Despite predating the social media era, his winning segment still garners millions of views on YouTube. Many fans still reach out on Twitter to inquire about his famous victory. Looking back, John laughs, "It was like a dream." And that's the story of John Carpenter, the first ever Who Wants to Be a Millionaire champion. What do you think about his incredible journey? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below for us to discuss. Don't forget to like and follow for more fascinating insights into life around us. And until next time, goodbye.